Hello, I'm Antandra, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create some squelchy and squishy Psydub sounds in Serum. That's a tongue twister. So without further ado, here we go. I've got a brand new instance of Serum up here. Just go to a menu and initialize preset, and you'll have your basic Sawtooth Wave, which is the basis for a lot of these sounds. I mean, you can use other waves, square waves, or even more complex waves, although a lot of them, you'd probably be surprised how many just start as a Sawtooth Wave. So I'm going to show you the basic technique and then follow that up with a few other little tips and tricks of things you can do to change the sound. So here's the basic idea. We're going to have our Sawtooth Wave, and then we're going to turn on this filter here. So the Sawtooth Wave on its own sounds like this. If I go to a low note, sounds like that. Now I'm just going to turn on this filter, and I'm going to go and select bandpass 24. So it's a steep bandpass filter. It's cutting out all the lows and highs. So that sounds like this. And you can already hear that the sound is coming together. So you can manually automate this cutoff. You could put it on the mod wheel, you could put it on a macro, you could put it on an LFO, which is what we're going to do. I'm just going to drag LFO1 onto it, and I'm going to create a little bit of a pattern here. Just going to have it kind of ease in and then ease in again. And then I'm going to set envelope to on. The pattern you make here doesn't matter, just really depends on the kind of sound you're trying to get. You could put any number of patterns in here and get good results. Alright, so we'll try that one for now. And you can turn up this resonance to your liking, add or take away. A lot of these sounds tend to be pretty heavy in the resonance. And we could slow this down, so I'm going to make it about half the speed. So you can change octaves and kind of see what you like there. You can change the amount of the LFO. And the starting position. You could change the direction by clicking and dragging this way. Adding more resonance gives it more bite. Can sound a little more liquidy too sometimes. So that's the basic sound. And then what you can do is you could play with modulating the pitch. So I'm actually going to go into the matrix editor, and I'm going to choose LFO2. And then I'm going to choose under global, I'm going to choose master tune. And then I'm just going to have it single direction. And right now we're not modulating it, but if I turn this up, you can hear that adds another type of squelchy effect to it. And you can change the depth and the rate. You could change this to envelope so it restarts every time, or leave it off, or put it on trigger and it would loop. I'm going to speed this up. Or you could have it start high and go low. I'm just playing with the speed. And changing the shape of the LFO. You can change the amount here. So if you go under global and you put this double click to type variables on controls, then you can go over here and type 12ST. Okay, that's not helping because we're actually changing the global. So wait, let's go in here and type 12ST, and you can see it sets it to 9. So that's coming together, and then you can add things like delay. You gotta play around with the delay length on the right and left to get it how you want. You can put on a compressor, turn on the multiband to really bring out a lot of the subtle tones, subtle frequencies. You can EQ that, cut out some of those harsh highs. So the next tip would be that you can open up some of your basic shapes here under analog, which I recommend. I mean, you can use any shape for this, but adding FM is a really powerful way to transform the sound. So we're going to do FM from B, and I'm going to turn the level all the way down here. And I often use a sine wave for my FM just because FM, it takes the pitch of this oscillator and it's modulating it to this oscillator. So if I have something that's just ramping up and cutting off suddenly, it's going to create a different kind of pitch modulation and maybe not the effect that I'm going for. So a lot of times a simpler waveform is better when it comes to FM, but you know, every rule is meant to be broken and there's plenty of exceptions. Just play around and find what you like. So here's when I add a little FM, you'll hear the sound dramatically change. So from this to this. You can change the note, the octave on each of these to get totally different results. And so a lot of this that you hear in the Psydub music, I think they record a lot of different variations of these or have a few layers with different patches they really like and just arrange them in such a way that it just flows really smoothly. Yeah, I mean, sometimes having it change pitch is cool. Sometimes having it just be a single tone sound is cool. like that. And then just even the slight change of FM completely transforms the sound. And you can hear, if I change this to some other shapes, what other effects we might get. If I slow this octave down really slow, you'll actually hear the pitch just jumping up and down with this square. Just going to really low octaves. Sometimes you can get some really nice effects playing super low notes to the point where you can hear every little crackle of the wave shape. I'm going to change this to a smoother waveform. Maybe you can hear the pitch of this one being modulated by this one. See what I mean there? It's pretty amazing. So get all sorts of different tones out of it this way. And this is just with a basic saw wave. I mean, you can change this to anything you want. I was playing around the other day with this one. You can then modulate the wavetable position. Or this sound. So many of these. You could even try the digital ones. And then I go back to the saw wave over here. And then you can also choose a complex pattern for your FM source, which gets its own interesting effect. Gets pretty grimy there. So I'm going to go back to the basic shapes here and keep this sine wave. I'm just playing with different octaves and the relationship between the two. And then if you go in here to effects, another tip and trick that I like to use sometimes is this downsampling in the distortion mode. So let's hear what that sounds like. That gives it kind of this valley effect. You can also change the order of these, so if I wanted to come later. using a square wave gets a totally different type of sound too from a saw wave. Gives you a more hollow sound. So it's just about experimentation and finding the sweet spots. Another thing to experiment with, so we have this LFO1 on the cutoff frequency here. Now if I take off the beat sync here, I can change this rate and get some interesting exponential effects. I have to put it on trigger so it loops around. Let's bring this back to the saw wave. Gotta bypass this. So that's fun, and then couple that with the pitch bending. Get some fun effects. And then it's just about resampling it and mixing it into your music in a tasteful and subtle way. So yeah, that's some of the main techniques that I like to use when using Serum to create squelchy and squishy Psydub sounds. So I hope you got something out of that, and until next time, I'm Entendre. Check out my website at entendre.com, soundcloud.com/entendre. All my music's free, and yeah, much love.